Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be speaking about the Adeptus Custodes, but we're not going to speak about the Adeptus Custodes in 30k, we're going to be speaking about them in the 40k tabletop. I've played 30k Custodes, I've played 40k Custodes, and 40k Custodes are a bit of a letdown, so I want to make a video on really what I expect them to be in 8th edition and maybe some improvements and maybe what to expect in the future from them. So I've always been a huge Adeptus Custodes fan. I've loved these guys since I first read the lore about them. You know, the personal Emperor's bodyguard. I don't think you can get really any cooler than that. When they got introduced into the 30k game mode, I was over the moon. I went out, I bought 30 of these guys. I bought the Dreadnoughts, the Hover Tanks, everything. And then when it came to them being released in 40k, I was completely over the moon. I was so excited for these guys to come into the new lore. Now, they got a box set called the Talons of the Emperor box set, which was really cool. You got a bunch of Custodes in there, you got a Land Raider tank, and you got some Sisters of Battle. But the problem is that they don't really have that much to bring into the 40k game mode at the moment compared to the 30k game mode. Now, I've actually gone off playing 30k because I'm fallen in love with the 8th edition, the rules so much, so I haven't really touched 30k since 8th edition has been launched. So I was very excited to see what rules these would get when it came to 8th edition, and I was let down. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They were launched in 7th edition at the end of 7th edition, and they did have Deep Strike, but when it came to 8th edition, the Deep Strike was taken away, which is still confusing me to this day. I wonder if that's a balance mechanic, but these guys really should have Deep Strike. They are basically like Terminator-esque type of armors. They're like mini Primarchs in a way. You know, they're the Emperor's bodyguard. They should be able to Deep Strike in certain places. Now, what that leaves you with is that to take a Custode armor in 40k, and now this is from my own personal experience. Like I said, I've got a ton of Custodes, that you have to invest a lot into transports, and the only transports that can take them at the moment is Land Raiders. So if you really want a decent kind of sized army and a decent army which is valuable and can get stuff done on the tabletop at the moment in 8th, is that you have to bring a lot of Land Raiders to transport these guys towards the enemy and then disembark and then, you know, shoot for charge and melee and all that kind of stuff. Once these guys you know, are in range of certain enemies, they are very decent. You know, they are powerful units, but I just think they lack the transport methods to move them up on the battlefield. And this gets quite frustrating when you compare them to the 30k variants, because they have a ton of transports. They have the flyer and they have this big hover tank which you can bang a load in and move them around. Now, I know there is balance issues, and I'm not saying that the 30k variants should come over and have the same stats in 8th edition. I completely agree that balancing needs to be done, but the models are there from Forge World to be used. Now, I know for a fact, because I read the Emperor's Legion by Chris Wright, that these guys have hover tanks, they have the flyers, they have all the different units in the current 8th edition storyline. I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a big battle, and units are described in the book which are fighting from the Custodes, and there's these units which are available on the Forge World shop right now. So my hope is that maybe the Custodes are going to be getting some love in 8th edition. Maybe they're going to get their own book. Maybe it's going to be a book with a whole different variants of maybe mini armies in, maybe Sisters of Battle, maybe Sisters of Silence, Adeptus Custodes, the Assassins, maybe some Inquisitor kind of stuff, retinues and all that, maybe piled into their own kind of codex, and they can get more rules, more units actually added to that. Now, we do know there is a brand new HQ model coming for the Custodes. Now, this is where I'm getting the kind of vibe that maybe they're going to be investing into the codex. Now, this HQ model which is coming out is Captain General Trajan Valoris. He is also mentioned in the Emperor's Legion book by Chris Wright. He is a big figure in that. He is basically the leader of the Custodians in the 8th edition, and the model itself, which you see on the screen now, is absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing, it's probably one of my favorite models GW have ever done. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a huge Custode fanboy. I think it would make sense to bring units that are present in the Horus Heresy over to 8th edition and give them their different kind of rule sets for the 40k game, because Forge World 1 would make a ton of money. I would go out and I would invest more in my Custode army, knowing that I could use Terminators, I can use jet bikes, I can use flyers, I can use the hover tanks, all that kind of stuff. If they allowed me to bring these into the 8th edition, again, I'm going to state that, of course, rules need to be changed. I'm not saying one-for-one rules being brought over, because I know there's going to be a lot of misbalancing, but if they were allowed to be played in the 8th edition, I would definitely invest into a Custode army. I would go to Forge World, I would buy the flyers, the decal sheets, more jet bikes, more Terminators, just so I can build a 8th edition Custode force. And the lore is there to support it. I'm not just saying this because I'm a huge fanboy. Again, the lore is there for these models. Everything is there. The Emperor's Legion by Chris Wright, I'll keep saying it. Go get it, go read it. It explains what all these units which the Custodes have in the current timeline, so they're there to be used. GW, please give me an excuse. Just give me an excuse to use my Adeptus Custodes armor in the 8th edition. I want to use them. I want to let my golden warriors of the Emperor out upon the vile Xenos and heretics and demons and everything like that. I want to purge the enemies of mankind, because they're out there now and they are assisting in the current timeline. And if GW do bring out a book, and if they do, this is the big thing, please give these guys Deep Strike. They badly need Deep Strike to be an effective force. These chaps are just like Grey Knights. They're an elite force, and without Deep Striking, it just makes them kind of sitting targets, I think, because you have to invest then into multiple Land Raiders to move them up, and that costs more points. And to be fair, I'd rather have an army of Custodes than an army of Land Raiders, because it looks way more cooler. So if we don't get Deep Strike, and they agree that Deep Strike is maybe too powerful for these, then give us a bigger transport, or just give us a flyer. Give me a flyer where I can fit more than 5 Custodes in, so I can fly across the board, drop them into the middle of the fray, and just start purging everything around me. Custodes are the elite. They can stand up to some of the biggest and baddest units the galaxy can throw at them. So this is one I actually want to play my Custode army like. I want to be able to hit the enemy head on, take a lot of damage, and do a lot of damage. And if we die, we die. But if we live, we live. Either way, we die, we live for the Emperor. It's all good. Right, that's me done for another video. I'm going to be at Warhammer World in the next couple of days. I'm going to go in there for the January Open Day, the New Year's Open Day, I think it's called. So if there's no big news by then, my next video will be a nice video log from there. Hopefully there is some nice new models which are being shown off. Hopefully I get to see this guy. I get to see the Captain General Trajan Valoris at the event. That would be amazing. I actually want to pick him up and see what he looks like. I want to see what his cape looks like at the back and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, and maybe I can ask some developers there, no, well, not developers, the actual designers there, what they have planned for Custodes in 40k. So check out that video. That's going to be coming very soon. Thank you for watching this one. I would love to get your feedback. If you are a Custode player, let me know your thoughts on this. If you hate Custodes, let me know. Or if you just never played Custodes before, let me know. We can have a nice little healthy discussion. Thank you for watching the video. I shall see you all very soon. See you now, and bye-bye.